Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. Don't roll a 1. Just don't roll a 1. Deimos's life matters here.
Midvic would love to take more of your buttons.
Eat my shorts.
And so you now find yourself in Steno's strong arms as you make direct eye contact with Steno once more.
How romantic.
Oh, good, you're awake.
What if casting sleep was like the same thing as like taking an Ambien? Like you just like there's a chance you could just get really, really weird.
That's
what happens to
Castle
elves.
Yeah.
Oh god.
No!
I thought you were talking about a skin flip. Sick. Oh boy! My mind went when you said sometimes.
I was talking about farting.
Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM Chris, and we have a wonderful episode to share with everyone today. We are diving into episode 61. Everyone is going to hopefully find out what is going on with that boat and maybe find out where our wonderful Taldane antagonist might be running off to this episode. Or maybe they'll decide to steal the boat and cross the river. You'll have to keep listening to find out. And this time we're going to go ahead and dive into something very interesting that one of our commenters on Podbean, Shadow, brought up that is a very important thing for our casters when they start doing Dispel Magic. And it's actually an interesting tidbit about heightening spells. Now, when you're reading these as a player and you're reading your spells, you always want to look and see if there's an additional benefit to heightening, because you're normally looking to do things like more damage or have greater effects. But the rulebook actually does point out that your casters can cast spells at a higher level than what a spell is initially at. So typically, like when we were going over Magic Missile, you could cast it at 1, you'll get 1 effect. You could cast it at 3, you'll get a buffed effect. You cast it at 5, you get an even more buffed effect. When we first interpreted that, it actually meant that we was like, okay, well then you really can't cast it at 2, because you didn't actually get a real benefit for casting the spell at 2nd level. Well, that's technically wrong. You can prepare a level 2 magic missile. It's just that it does 1d4 plus 1 damage per missile because you're not casting it at level 3. So why would you want to cast a magic missile at level 2 if you don't get a buff in damage? Well, technically because it's a higher spell level. And if someone was trying to, say, counterspell your magic missile, it would be more difficult for them to counterspell. And here's where we get back into Dispel Magic. As we were talking about last week, Dispel Magic does rely on the spell at which it's cast. And we were trying to take a look and see if you would be casting Dispel Magic at level 2, what kind of range of effect you would end up having. And if you critically succeed on a counteract check, you would be able to counteract something of about level 5. And while that's pretty good, it seems like it limits what Dispel Magic could do. And if Dispel Magic was only cast at 2nd level, then yeah, that's true. You could only really deal with effects up to level 5. But as Shadow points out, and as it says in the rulebook here, spellcasters can cast a spell at a higher level than that's listed for the spell. And this is called heightening the spell. So your prepared casters can heighten the spell by preparing in a higher level spell slot than its normal spell level. Spontaneous casters can do this too, but they have slightly different rules. And when you heighten your spell, the spell level increases to match the higher level of the spell slot that was used for. So this means that if Taffy wanted to, Taffy could use a 3rd level spell slot to cast Dispel Magic. And when that was done, the counteract level for the Dispel Magic could crit up to a 6th level spell. At our adventurer's present level of experience, being able to dispel effects up to about 5th level is about right. It's a good solid space for the mid-levels of a Pathfinder game. It's when they start getting up into... It's about when they start getting up into 14 and higher that we have a much greater use for being able to upcast those Dispel Magics. This is one of the fun versatilities of the Wizard class versus, let's say, Deimos's casting. and this comes down to the big difference between spontaneous casters and prepared casters. Deimos' spells need to be known at a specific level to be able to cast them unless it happens to be one of their signature spells. So one of Deimos' signature spells happens to be Soothe, because Deimos does an awful lot of the healing for the group. But Deimos also happens to know Dispel Magic. Now that makes great for Deimos' second level spell slot, but if it's not one of Deimos' signature spells, Deimos won't be able to spontaneously heighten that spell. That doesn't mean that Deimos can't take Dispel Magic at a later spell slot as one of his spontaneous spells. And as you can see, that's a little bit different than what we have happening with Taffy, because Taffy just has to learn it as a second level spell and then can prepare it in any slot. It's kind of a switch off of versatility, and it's one of the interesting things about getting into the nitty-gritty of how magic works. That's probably why I play a wizard in Gang Goes to Galarion. I'm a magic nerd. How the traditions interact and understanding the difference between spontaneous and prepared casters, as well as how each of the different classes interact with the concept of magic, is a fun area to delve into at a technical level, though I think it comes the most alive when we begin blending in the technical level with the narrative level, and hopefully we'll have more opportunities going forward to bring in some of those interesting differences between how each of the characters interact with the magical aspect of our world going forward. But that's a lot more of an academic discussion, because those kinds of things get put up on the shelf while you're in the middle of a jungle with giant mosquitoes, potential dysentery, despite all of their saves, and a boat with tracks leading north. Let's see what our party has decided to do this session. They got a fresh set of hero buttons. I wonder how many Medvik will claim. Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies, where we are holding in our various forms of internet rage from our conversations before we actually started recording. Apparently this table has a lot of intense feelings about Fruits Basket.
Hashtag Rat Squad.
Hashtag cat for life.
Hashtag I've never seen it.
You should totally watch it. It's so good.
The new formulation of it's actually a really good
Really good.
anime. Its pacing's really good. The way they do their characterization
They don't
is
linger
fantastic.
as much as the original did on certain things that don't need to be lingered on, and get right into the meat and potatoes of the story, which I love.
Its direction's really good. And it's hard for me to get into the shoujo.
Yes.
Shoujo?
It's shoujo.
Into a lot of shoujo.
Solidly shoujo.
I'm a big Maho shoujo person, so
So it's
if there's a magical girl anime, I've probably seen it already.
So we are terrible, wonderful weebs, and we have vigorous conversations before we enter into recording.
Yeah, this conversation went on for half an hour.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, about like that.
We all got very impassioned about very specific animes.
Colonel.
I got very
Mustard.
impassioned.
Oh, I'm mad about that. It makes him sound like a Clue character.
From what I know from my 6 episodes, that's not wrong.
Wait, I didn't mean to derail
No,
the
that's wrong.
conversation.
That's wrong, and you can't.
Back to Galarion.
So as we pull away from the world of Full Metal Alchemist and Colonel Mustang's poor wet hands from...
That sounds wrong.
Oh.
Oh no.
When we last left off, the party was making camp along the side of the river, still on the north side of the river that runs from east to west in this area of the Mwangi. Your scouts had just come in, Dago from the south and Wimble from the north. Dago gave Kazlin a hint that there was a hunting party to the south of some form, but it was not... it's not the feeling that Dago gives you when it would be like a boggart or a charaka. It is more akin to like what Dago considers most of what you interpret as people. So for instance, Dago looks at a boggart or a charaka and it's just like active lunch, and person is not supposed to be lunch.
I'm a little concerned that what Dago's chasing after for lunch, because he's not very big.
Well,
Valid point.
Dago's got big eyes and big dreams.
His eyes are bigger than his tummy.
Well, I mean, he did just see like these drakes the size of like actually 10 times his size nearly rip one of your party members in half.
Yeah.
I liked your description of that one, Zach, as a very Jurassic Park moment. That's a good visceral image
Demos
that I
is
carry with me.
fine.
It's fine.
And now that we have been properly reminded of how heightening works on +2 spells,
Thank you.
yes, they
Thank
heighten
you.
at 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And if they ever bring out 11,
Poor Taffy.
I know. And then, but I also got reminded that I'm giving the monsters way too many actions when I grab y'all for free. And while I still could have technically dragged Deimos out to the side, he would have slightly had less damage. But I think we overkilled you pretty hard on one of those combos, Deimos.
Yeah.
Just a
Think so.
smidge. So it would have been slightly less dramatic.
Don't
maybe.
be a baby. It's fine. You're fine.
Everything is okay.
So, y'all now find yourselves on the north side of the river, and as Wimble comes back with a story of a 120-foot tall cliff, combined with what appears to be some sort of temple to the north, y'all find yourselves caught between two interesting sites here at the river. If you go north, you'll have the temple that was alluded to when y'all were conversing with Gerard Pendergrast, and an unusual hunting party to the south. So as the dawn raises, do you want to go north or south?
I'll defer to the party.
So the options are go stop Gerard at that temple or go investigate a hunting party.
Wait,
Yes.
did Gerard say he was heading to the temple?
I mean, we can probably assume that he is.
That's fair.
Well. So they're not across, so they're just to the south of us? They're not like over the river or anything?
They are over the river.
Ooh.
Both waypoints.
No, so one is north of you on y'all's side of the river. The other party is south. Y'all could cross the river, but unless you come up with an interesting way to avoid anything that might eat Taffy whole,
Shake
Gerard's
wood and send it
Boat
back.
was there, wasn't it?
y'all did find their boat. And the tracks were leading up north.
I kind of want to punch him in the dick.
Let's find him first. So I would say let's go after Gerard first, because he seems to be more like an active threat.
Yeah.
He did confirm he was trying to blow up something. Although how he's going to do that without any of his black powder, you know.
Alrighty.
Chris is prepping bestiary cards, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Alright, so as y'all begin heading north, you can find Gerard's tracks. As y'all begin the exploration, do y'all want to be doing, taking any exploration activities through the travel?
Probably just the standard ones we've been taking. Stano's going to be on defense, so she'll have her sword out.
I think I'm gonna keep Dago.
Dago with you this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll keep. Actually, I'll have Wimble fly ahead.
You want him to fly an additional square north?
No, I want to have him fly into the square where we're heading, just to keep an eye out in case anything changes.
Scope it out.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That way, presumably, he could fly back and warn us if anything's changed.
So while y'all are heading up, Caslin, give me a survival check.
That's not great. 13.
So from what you can tell, it looks like you're seeing two sets of tracks, as though you think maybe one has gone north and then another has gone back south, and then it looks like something was drug as y'all are going through. And Deimos, do you want to do anything different for your exploration activity?
No, nothing different.
So what you have up your sleeve, Taffy?
Casting a 3rd level detect magic as an innate spell because I am a master of the arcane.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of scoping it out in the area to see if there's anything peculiar about where we're at.
What's your range at your heightened level?
Give me a sec.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So Stano needed proof that Sulius had hired Gerard to do something in the Mwangi.
Okay.
So would that mean that we would need to leave him alive to confirm that?
Depends on what kind of proof that you would need.
Yeah, you didn't tell me what kind of proof we would need.
Well, you don't know what kind of proof you would need.
Chris, so help me God.
What kind of proof do you think would be appropriate for a Chilaxian court?
Okay.
Contract.
So,
Probably on his boat.
Well, have y'all searched his boat yet?
No, obviously not.
it's a 13-foot emanation, just like normal. However, you learn the school of magic with the highest level effect within range that the spell detects. If multiple effects are equally strong, the GM determines what you learn.
Excellent. So you'll begin moving forward, and you're popping off detect magics along the way. And as you're getting close, you sense this primal source of magic coming your way, and then you recognize it pretty quick when you realize, oh, it's Wimble coming back from the scouting mission.
Mm-hmm.
And he then suddenly begins this pantomime where he begins taking his fingers from the top of his lip and curling them out.
My God. Okay,
And then he
Gerard.
sweeps his hair back before it flips forward again.
I'm just imagining a miniature Ryan Reynolds doing this. It's fucking glorious.
And then as he begins going,
Oh, the Taldane's ahead.
and then he takes on a different pose and he hunches his shoulders forward a little bit and he brings his hands together and begins rubbing them back and forth. And then he starts taking his hand and then going it down as though he's miming a beard and then curling forward.
Is that your gross ex?
Is it?
Did your gross ex have a beard?
When you ask Wimble, he's like,
I don't know your ex.
Did he look Chilaxian? Dark. Did he look dark?
What kind of dark?
My kind of dark.
No,
Then I have no idea.
Unlike-
but he seems a little dim.
Then no.
what? What?
Tabby's gonna grab him and hug him. Silly.
When you're 6 inches tall, even an A cup is pretty good size.
Speechless.
You just
Sexual assault from my familiar.
gave a Kindle a side boob grab.
You're grounded.
Does that involve plucking off his wings?
No, don't pluck his wings, please.
Just asking.
Oh, well, Wimble, may you live in the space of my brain for a lot longer.
You can always put him in your bag of holding.
There's no air.
I know.
And he flips up. He flies out a little bit.
I feel like a minute would teach him a lesson.
I don't want to kill him.
A minute.
He's got little lungs.
3 minutes.
So as y'all begin following in the direction that Wimble suggested, y'all come across an overgrown ridgeline rising up from the jungle here, and it presents a craggy stone face that faces southward. And perched atop this, it appears to be about a 40-foot tall portion of the cliff, is a mostly overgrown stone temple. From what you can tell, there is a trio of balconies extending up from the temple's southern facade over the cliff edge as y'all approach. And while there are several triangular openings in the stone walls, you think they could have been windows. You see that they are actually now packed with clay. As you approach, you can see that the building walls above are adorned with badly damaged carvings that may have once been, you think, maybe androgynous butterfly figures swimming between the sea and flying through the sky.
So Desna or Gojra?
But y'all will have to climb the cliff to be able to enter, as the face of the cliff is what are, as y'all approach from the south, that's what y'all are able to see. And so you think the entrance would be on the cliffside, so you'll have to scale that.
Okay. Yeah, Sane will put her sword away to scale.
Taffy hops on Sano's back. She can't climb for shit. Hold on, wait. Let me see
I
what
don't
my
think
athletics
Deimos is much of a climber either.
What's the weight of a gnome?
Not really.
So the gnome's weight
He
is going to
can,
be
it's
all
just
of the
like
bulk that they have on them,
But she's also carrying a bag of holding.
So it's just mostly her own bulk plus the bag of holding.
plus the bulk of a gnome. And I believe we have our...
And she's like 35 pounds, so.
Yeah, so you should be 2 bulk, and I think a standard person would be about 3 bulk.
Stano can carry her.
Just because limbs and... Actually, you're probably 1 bulk helping. I can see 1 bulk helping. It'd be different if you're unconscious.
If Taffy's just 1 bulk, then yeah, Stano can climb with Taffy on her back.
Cool, because my athletics is -1.
Is Stano going to be the first one to scale the cliff?
I'll go too.
Stano's heading over.
Ooh. Wait. Before we do this. Boop. Guidance.
Okay.
Right? Because that's a skill check?
You should honestly probably give Deimos the guidance.
Okay, he's not that bad.
Right, but Stano has a plus 12 to athletics.
It's a 30-foot
You have plus 12?
range?
Oh yeah, he only has
I
a
don't
plus
have-
4.
I have more than you.
Are you an expert?
Yes.
I am not.
I'm not even trained.
Guidance.
You get a guidance. You get a guidance.
I can't.
It's a cantrip.
So,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
All
You
right.
get a
So,
plus 1 to your skills.
is anyone going to go first? Do y'all want to go in an order? Do y'all want to try all climbing at the same time? How do you want to do this?
Stano can go first, and if anything, we can always drop a rope to help out with everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and break this down into 2 athletics checks.
Okay.
One for the first 20 feet. One
Okay.
for the second 20 feet.
So
Okay.
it only affects 1 round, so it'll be on the first athletics check.
So we're going in to go at the same time?
Yeah, we can go with it.
25. Oh,
20.
26.
26.
That's 25.
With the plus 1?
26.
Oh, weird.
17.
Plus 1?
That's with it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So it looks as though even with Taffy on Stano's back and Dago mockingly catching a ride on Kazalin as y'all begin climbing up, y'all are each keeping pace with each other. Deimos, on the other hand, runs into a bit of an issue. Deimos gets about halfway up when they miss the wrong footfall, and they are at 15 feet up when they begin tumbling back.
You have catfall?
No, probably not.
Whoop.
So you have a moment. Are you trained in acrobatics?
Yes.
You can give me a DC 15 acrobatics check to treat the fall as 10 feet less.
Is this still in the same round?
Yes, this is
So you get a plus 1 to that, too.
18.
perfect. So you can treat the fall a little bit less, but you're landing at a super awkward angle coming off of the cliff.
Yeah, but it's only a 5-foot fall that way.
And you're going to take 2 points of damage as you land badly on your ankles.
I said 2 points.
Yes.
Take 2 points.
Bink.
Great.
Like, instead of landing on your toes like you were wanting to, you actually landed on your heels, and then
You
it
shouldn't
just
land
kind
on
of-
your toes anyway. Like, it's a great way to break your toes. You should always go to land on... Falling PSA. Always go to land on your ass.
It's the squishiest part of your body.
It will give you the best chance of walking away.
So, Deimos, you're still at the bottom. Do you want to try climbing again, or are you going to wait?
Guess we'll try it one more time.
All
We're
right.
still within 30 feet of him, right?
Yes.
Do
So
I
you
have
can
Should
still
we
keep-
roll our next athletics checks?
Everyone.
Guidance
let's
on
do the next
everybody.
athletics check.
Natural 20.
Excellent.
21.
21 this time.
27.
Plus
So-
the 1.
28.
Kaslin, you're not sure if you just like found the perfect groove or if this cliff was made for you to climb. You looked over to see where Stana was at, and you got this slight smile on your face as all of a sudden it is 1, 2, 3, basically 4 handholds, and you are handstanding yourself up off the side of the cliff and then standing up while Stano is going through her first 10 feet of her climb. As she begins moving up, and you see now as Stano is
Wait,
pulling.
was Dago on his back?
Oh yeah, Dago just clung on the whole way through on that handstand. And Taffy and Stano are just getting over the side of the cliff, and you can see Deimos now about halfway up the cliff, getting into the tougher parts. But you've got this little bit where your hat's not even off it kilter even a little bit, and you've got the breeze kind of going by. Just like, it's nice on this.
I like to think that he was climbing one-handed and eating a sandwich with the other hand.
Pull out one of your additional sandwiches.
I hate everything about this.
Well, at least it's not pie.
Well, you can only cook
My
so
pie
much in the
basket.
wild like that.
So now we have Deimos halfway up the cliff. Still within range for Taffy to continue the guidance. Does Taffy want to continue the guidance?
Yes.
I was going to drop him a rope.
Deimos is halfway up. What do you want to do? You could let go and fall back.
We could pillar of water him up.
Oh,
Swim, little Deimos, swim!
I mean, like, Gojran.
I guess he's just gonna keep climbing? Because he's not
Can you
being...
use acrobatics to climb?
Nope, it's athletics.
Fuck it. Just... Tired of this.
Yes. Let nature be
punished
the
for
one
being
to
bad.
take the buttons from you. Yes.
Don't fuck me, please. So 21 again.
Nice.
Luckily, Caslin went up ahead of you to show you where at least half of the handholds were. And so you follow up, and you have to take a little bit more time, but it is a struggle to get up through this last part. Maybe it's just because his reach is a little longer than yours, or maybe you missed like the same number that he did on the way up. But finally, coming over the top, you pull yourself up.
We'll lean down to help him up that last little bit.
Thanks.
I like
I'm
how
going to teach you to climb.
a legendary climber or a legendary athletic person can climb a smooth surface. So like
With their fingertips, like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Batman and Spider-Man.
You'll find yourselves on the western side of the structure, just on the cliff face.
Say to do a check on that deity that we're seeing on there, see if it's Desna or Gojra or...
From where you're at, it'll be a little difficult, but give me a society check.
Would it be society or religion?
And this one
She
to
has
get an
both.
idea.
She has both. So.
We'll start with society.
28.
So you can definitely recognize the Gozran and the Desnan influences. From what you can tell, it looks like it's a little bit in the Bonawat style. But other than that, it
I'm
looks
nodding along like I know what that is.
but other than that, you don't have a lot of the contextual information. Are you an expert in society or just trained?
She is an expert in society.
The thing that then catches out to you as you're going through is the initial read on the imagery is that the makers of this temple may have thought that it was, and we'll say the cursory read is that this was a merging of the two deities of the faith.
Mm-hmm.
But from what you can tell, you're seeing hints of what may be actually separation of pantheon, but just two highly venerated deities. But you'll need to get inside the temple to be able to tell much more than that.
She is excited to do that.
So how do y'all want to approach the front of the temple?
Well, we know Gerard's around there, right?
That's the assumption.
Should we send somebody to scout?
I can stealth.
Does anyone want to stealth with Caslin?
Invisibility bubble. Let me actually see if I have that prepared.
I mean, I'm trained in it, but you probably don't want it.
Shit, never mind. I don't have that prepared.
So we're just having Caslin go?
Do y'all really want to stay into stealth with Caslin?
Shunk, shunk.
I don't have any points in
Oh
stealth.
yeah, Deimos'
so
stuff is noisy now.
I'm gonna hide in a bush if there are any bushes. If not, I'm just gonna stay by the edge, out of sight.
You have our emotional support.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. All right, stealth.
So go ahead and give me your stealth check.
Yes, more buttons! So soon! But many more buttons.
You know what? It's now my goal to not turn in a single button this whole session.
Yeah, well, I just rolled a 1 on that stealth check, so
Yeah.
that's better. 24.
24?
Not bad.
So as you begin kind of coming around the side of the temple, give me a perception check.
21.
So you're checking out the side of the temple, kind of coming along the corners, keeping the side of the temple just to your right, the foliage, the plants being there on your left, and you begin peeking your head around the corner as you hear what appear to be two people conversing, one whose voice you recognize as Gerard, and you look and you see that there is a second individual. Where Gerard had himself in a green set of leather, this one finds himself in a russet brown set of leather, but is strikingly similar to Gerard. Similar length of hair, same blonde. In fact, you think it's his spitting image, but instead of having the handlebar mustache,
Chris.
instead it is a goatee.
Chris.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you.
What is this? What's happening?
He has a blonde goatee that comes forward and looks like it has been moosed to curl out.
Oh my god. What's his name?
What am I not getting here? What?
I just think he's
It looks like Gerard has a twin brother.
Okay.
Is his name Butler? Gerard Butler?
What's Gerard's twin brother's name, Chris?
And as you listen to the two talk, Gerard!
rod.
Just because I was the firstborn doesn't mean you should take my mishaps onto me. Well, brother, just because you have not been...
I want to electrocute them. I'm not even there.
Tapping a lightning bolt.
Peacock! Oh, wait. I just imagine Tuffy's Halloween costume as Pikachu now.
About the same size.
Right?
You have spoken, and now it shall be.
Right?
Brother, just because you are the firstborn doesn't mean that you should bring your mistakes back to roost. You better hope that your accosters aren't out there looking for you. You're lucky that I had a spare set of armor. Yeah, well, the spare set that I left for you to use. Yes, all of your hand-me-downs. And then they start going into a brotherly spat back and forth. But you see one of them is bringing out a box, and from what you can tell, it looks like there is a line of powder leading from them into the temple itself. We need to hurry this up to cover for your indiscretions and your poor research. It is not poor research, this is a fabrication. You and your dealings with Sulius is the one who funded this to begin with. You should believe in retaining all of this.
Okay, while everything else is going on,
So-
I
This is making
Kazlin's
me hate
going
Talbot so
to-
much more.
Stealth back and tell us this, right?
Real quick, can I see how close are we to the river?
From the river, you are easily over half a mile.
Okay, so they don't have an eyes on their boat or anything
Actually,
like that.
Oh no, you're about half that distance. You're like 5 miles away. Yeah, they have no idea where their boats are.
Okay.
So at the moment, Kazlin can see around the corner that Gerard and Erard are standing at the steps leading into the temple.
Okay, but while he's doing that, can we be looking in the direction of the temple, since we're right there?
We're at the back of the temple
Yeah,
looking at
you're
it.
on the cliff side of the temple,
Okay,
part of the way up as getting everyone on, and the temple is just to your right.
okay, can we
Stato's
move
probably
up
like right up on that looking at all the stuff.
and around to look at the temple a little?
Not until we know what Kazlin's going to do.
Is there the line of gunpowder or black powder is going into the temple, right?
Yep.
Is there another way? Would it be possible to stealth into the temple without being seen by them?
They have a clear line of sight from their from where they're standing into the temple, and now we can bring forward the map a little bit for you to see. It is essentially open ground. It would be an exceptionally difficult stealth check to do. You would at least need to be an expert to attempt it, and even then, it would be a high DC. As you begin approaching around the side of the temple, you have just the temple wall here. When you would come across the windows, those are what you notice. It looks like they have been packed with clay.
Recently or for a while?
Does the clay look recent?
Give me a perception check, Kaslin.
29.
So from what you can tell, the way that this clay has dried, it has probably been long enough to be about a couple days. Enough to be relatively solid, but not be fully cured.
Okay.
And then as you come around, you find it's the same thing on this side, where it looks like there was an opening, someone had come in and packed it. And then you get around to the corner, and hidden by the corner that's when you catch Gerard and Erard's conversation.
I'm going to stealth back to the team.
All right, give me a stealth check.
That is a more than 30.
Excellent. So of all the things, Kazalin just back into the shadows.
Okay.
It looks like they're preparing to blow the temple.
What?
I don't know why, but it looks like they're preparing to blow it up. We need to get into the temple to disable their explosives. I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm going to send Dago to do a flyby. He's going to distract them, and I can sneak into the temple, and then if they come back, you can be there as backup.
You said they're using black powder.
Right.
Is there a way would wetting black powder down? Can we just kick it away?
Just be able to kick it away, I would think.
I have water. I can't
Chris?
disrupt it.
So if we disrupt the black powder,
Give me
using
a
my
crafting
actual
check.
knowledge. Okay. That's a 27.
Depending on your formulation of black powder, you can get a myriad effects. You know from the black powder that you have confiscated for the blunderbuss that it is highly volatile, and any remote exposure to flame would cause a small series of tiny explosions that move very, very quickly.
So if they have a line of black powder, then it stands to reason they've got explosives in the temple. So if we disrupt the black powder in the line, then they can't light one end and have it go all the way through, which would buy Caslin time.
Seems feasible.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want us to go to the other side of the temple?
That would involve lots of climbing. I don't know if we
Fair
have
point.
that time.
Okay. Then yeah, we'll do that.
All right, Caslin, give me the finalized plan here.
Okay, so who has stealth?
You.
Just you.
Just
I technically do.
how far up can
What
it...
is Deimos's bonus? Deimos has noisy chainmail though. What is that?
Yes,
Just a negative, or
Yeah,
It
it's just
should
a
be a
minus.
-1, so it comes out to +8.
okay?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I stealth up to the corner, send Dago, and as they are being distracted, the rest of the team comes up to the corner. I go in, and then the rest of the team will sit there
Fight
for
them
backup.
while you're.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and what are you going to have Dago do for the distraction?
Well, he's gonna do.
Can he hit two targets with his flyby?
I believe he can.
If only we had hydraulic push. Just put Taffy there and make her shove him away. Does Taffy have any shoving, pushing spells?
Not really.
You do have Pillar of Water prepared.
Yes.
What if Taffy goes into the temple with Caslin with Pillar of Water?
Yeah, that could work too. If it soak the explosives.
Yeah. So the job of Deimos and Stano at this point is to fight Gerard and
Oh, flyby
Gerard and
attack.
Erard.
It flies and makes a talon strike at any point along the way. It's a 2 action, so
Yeah, so you get one strike along the way.
okay, so I'll have to hit one of them and
Yep.
just okay.
So think about it this way: the goal of Caslin and Taffy is to get into the temple and start fucking that stuff up.
Yeah.
Taffy's goal is to cast as many water spells as possible to mess with the explosives, and Caslin's goal is to disable them. Stano and Deimos' goal is to fight Gerard and Erard and keep them from setting anything off themselves.
Right. At least I would say that their goal is not necessarily to fight them, but is to engage if they see us go in. Because I think we can work quietly enough to not create a lot of noise.
Yeah.
I
but
mean,
they're
there's
gonna-
only
their-
one way
their
into that
attention is-
temple,
Right. But their
so-
attention is going to be on Dago. And
Okay.
They're going to go that way, and we're
So-
going to sneak in behind.
Taffy and Caslin need to move first,
Yeah.
and then Deimos and Stano need to be in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
All right, so how far behind do Stano and Deimos want to be?
Oh, probably like right up on them still.
All right,
Enough that Caslin can make a stealth check.
Right.
so Caslin, go ahead and give me your fresh stealth.
I have to roll one too, right?
I'm going to carry you.
Oh, okay.
And give me a guidance, though.
Oh, yeah. Guidance.
Stano can try and roll a stealth.
24?
25.
Let's
Oh,
split it.
with
yeah.
the guidance, okay.
Should Stano and Deimos roll a stealth for their move too, or
And so you're coming up behind him. So yes, I need
Guidance on
everyone
both of you too.
for the way this. So effectively what this is doing, because Dago is going to be leading off on an attack. Y'all are getting the order that y'all would kick your rounds into.
24.
I just naturally 20'd that, so it's
Awesome.
22.
Perfect.
Oh, more buttons.
I don't think you need the stealth, though, because I'm carrying you.
That was a part of it. I thought you just. Oh, so
To
now
get
you
the
want your
button back. Don't take false payment, Medvic.
Come on, look at him. Of course he's going to take false payment.
It's one of those things. Early payments are always accepted. He still charge you interest, though.
But you also have an early payoff penalty too, don't you?
Multiple.
All right, Demos, what was yours?
20
24.
24.
Mhm.
So even with the natural 20 on that, Stano still is the.
Stano has a +2 to stealth. Stano has a +2 to stealth. Stano's wearing full plate.
Yeah, but you're moving that full plate super duper silently.
Well, we'll.
She does take very good care of her armor. Blood, not rust.
All right.
Fair enough.
So Caslin, you get up there. Dago is with you. What's the plan? You're up there. Who's Dago going to hit? The one in the faded green leather that totally doesn't look magical, or the one in the pristine, shining, russet brown leathers that remind you of that +1 you just ripped off of Pendergrast?
Well,
Are either of them holding a match?
Oh, looks like one of them has out a tinder twig right now.
okay. So I remember from our encounter with Gerard, that did not seem that magical, so he's going to go after Gerard. Well, oh wait, they all look the same.
One has a handlebar mustache, and the other has
A goatee.
a goatee.
Dago use his action, or like use an action to grab the tinder stick
Yeah.
and then fly off?
Well, do you want to do your flyby attack, or do you want to have him try to steal
Snatch
something?
and grab.
I
That would be a thievery check, wouldn't it?
Well, at the moment, it is an attended object. So unless they were, I think, a master in thievery,
Yeah,
they
no.
couldn't steal it.
I'm not
But
gonna risk
Dago
that.
could try flying up and grabbing it out of their hand.
Which would be like a disarm or a grapple.
I don't think I have the skills. Well, got a plus 10 to... Well, that athletics, right?
Yep.
I have plus 10 to athletics today for Dago. Okay, I can try that.
All right.
Fly, disarm, I guess, and then fly again.
Correct. So Dago will fly up to Erhard because they are the one who is carrying the items. And so you use one action to have Dago fly over, and Dago has grabbed onto it. So that is one of your actions. You have two more. What do you want to do?
Disarm?
No, you have two more actions.
Oh, I
Dago's
do.
used two actions.
Oh, I didn't have to roll for it?
You good, Seth?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dago's kind of... Yeah, go ahead. Roll your athletics.
16?
That's supposed to go against their fortitude. This is Dago, not Caslin.
I would have cast it on everyone.
You were in rounds. So you cast it on the one person. It lasts for 6 seconds, right?
Oh.
Everyone else's would have fallen off.
Oh, gotcha. Well, it's until the beginning of my next turn.
Right. Would you have done it to Caslin for his stealth check, or would you have done it to Dago? Because remember...
Well, if I'm being carried, I have all three actions free. So I would have done it to Dago, Caslin, and anybody else in our party who is nearby.
Well, you would have been able to do it to three of you, so you did to your three. Okay, cool. I'll accept that. Dago. So
I think
you're going against his fortitude DC, and what you get again?
17. Well, so 17 with...
yeah, because it's one action per use.
So that is a critical failure.
That was not my plan, guys.
Hang on. I'd like to use.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fortitude. It's an athletics check against the opponent's reflex.
Oh, that might change the criticality. Let's see. Does that make it better or worse? It's not critical.
Okay.
It's not a critical fail. It's just a
So
fail.
if he just fails, there's no failure effect.
Yep.
Okay.
A critical fail, you lose your balance and become flat-footed, but...
He's flying.
He'd fall to the ground, I guess.
Right, I'm looking at the disarm trait. So this is a single action disarm check. So there's no failure effect, so...
Can I, because you've announced that he already failed, I can't button him.
No,
Correct.
that's fine.
Okay.
So
So I'd say fortitude sounded weird.
it was mentioned in one of the books.
Okay. So,
But I would say that's successfully distracting, though.
All right, you've got two actions, Kaz. What do you want to do?
well, where is Dago right now? Is he on
So,
him?
yeah, Dago is basically right next to Erard.
Well, the original plan was for him to attack and then fly off. So if he is still there, then I misunderstood exactly how this is going to work.
Well, so there's flyby attack,
Yeah.
which is fly the speed, get an attack along the way, which
Right.
will allow you to fly off.
Mhm.
But instead of doing that, you had to move over and try to grab the tinder twig. And so that uses both actions that way. So that's a move,
Wow. Okay.
skill check,
That's
versus the
that's
move.
not what I really
with the
wanted to
attack.
do.
Do you want to go put yourself in between Dago and Erard?
Well, whose turn is next?
It's still Caslin's.
You could toss me
And-
towards the entrance, as terrible as that sounds, and then go put yourself between them.
Can he take
could do
another
that.
action to give Dago 2 more actions?
I don't believe so. I don't think you can command your minion, the same minion for 4 actions. We'll double check that.
Although you could throw Taffy.
I'll take the damage.
A creature with this trait can only use 2 actions per turn. Your minion acts on your turn in combat once per turn when you spend an action to issue it commands.
So yeah,
So
it's only got its 2 actions. So these last 2 belong to Caslin.
I would say that this is completely the opposite of what I wanted to do. So might as well just engage them.
All right. Do you want? You could get up to Gerard within your move, and that would be just kind of right up to him because you have 25 move speed, right?
Dropping me is a free action, right?
Yes.
Okay, drop me.
Okay.
if anything, once we get up there, then once we're engaging them, you can move into the temple with Taffy.
Okay. Yeah, move up. Or should I drop you there or drop you at the corner of the temple? Where you want to be dropped at?
Closer to the door, so like if you want to do it while you're moving up to them.
Okay.
I think you can probably do it midway.
Is there a
through the
chance for
stride.
you to drop her without them seeing?
No, I think at this point,
That's fair. Never mind.
Well, we're
So-
still concealed by the corner of the temple, so if I drop you here and
I'm
move
still
out,
concealed,
you would
but-
still be concealed.
What's the difference between if Taffy's dropped right there? What's the distance between there and getting into the temple?
So between getting right up to Gerard is 20 feet, and you have an additional 5 foot of movement.
so if you carried me up to Gerard and dropped me there, I would be right behind you.
So the space
And
that
then
Kazan can get
you
to
could
is
take an
what if-
action to move in.
Exactly.
Or,
Could Kazlan throw her into the temple?
Yeah.
um,
Only one bolt.
Is this the second game where we've thrown you, Sid?
No. It's the first
You're
game
starting
we've thrown
here.
me, but the second game we've
if
thrown
I
a small character.
Oh, right. Fair point. Is this our
I need to
trait
get-
now? Is this
I
our?
guess.
What does Dicefall do? Oh, they throw characters.
So
They throw
everyone's
gnomes.
basically a rule.
Oh, he was a
Right
goblin.
here.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop Taffy here.
At the corner?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a free action to yell,
Okay.
and then I'm going to run north.
Okay. So you're going to take off from where you are, and you're going to grab their attention that you're running north.
Yeah.
What are you gonna yell?
I'm gonna just. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know. Just
You're just gonna.
that. Something like that.
It sounds like you're mocking him.
Oh yeah, I guess I kind of am.
All right, Taffy, what do you want to do? It's your turn.
How many actions is Pillar of Water?
It's 3 actions.
Yep.
Do you have any other water spells?
Nope.
Do you have Ray of?
I
Frost?
have fire and water.
Yeah, water.
No.
Oh.
Pillar of Water is the only non-fire or magic missile spell I have.
Take an action in and kick away at the black powder, I guess.
I guess, but like, how many actions would it take me to get inside the temple?
It'll take at least 2 actions.
Get me into the temple.
I would. Can maybe hold your turn until we see what they do.
They're gonna drop the flame
yeah.
stick as soon as they get a chance.
Take an action, disrupt that black powder.
I'm gonna kick as much of the black powder away from
The line.
as I possibly can, breaking the line.
Breaking the line.
And then next turn I'll Pillar of Water.
All right. So as Kazan goes hurling his voice forward, out, and running to the north, Taffy then hits the ground and scurries around the corner through the door, passing by, and then as she gets right next to some of the powder, kicks it right off to the side, breaking the cut between the two. Demos. So you just saw, for some reason, Kazlan is booking it to the north, and you just saw Taffy scurry around the mouth of the temple.
You know, well,
And you hear Dago going,
But so where am I in relation to the 2 idiots?
So you are on the backside of the corner.
not those idiots. Not us.
No, not
idiots.
not you.
Idiots.
No, the Taldans.
Oh,
The annoying Taldans.
Are most of the plans the same?
No, you 2 are fine. I mean the Taldans.
You're about, we'll say, 15 feet from the other corner to then be able to get line of sight-ish on Gerard and Erard.
I have a question.
Yes.
How far away is Taffy from Erard?
Approximately 20 feet.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm going to
wait.
do some
Oh my god.
inspire
I
courage,
failed.
inspire defense, that kind of thing.
I have
Okay.
Ray of Frost ready.
So those 2.
So
My
presently
brain.
that is going to catch everyone but Taffy, because it's a 30-foot emanation, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, and put guidance on Sano
Okay.
because
She'll
I
take-
just want to wait until something actually happens before I make any rash moves.
Steno,
Yep.
it's your action. You've got 3 of them.
How many actions did you get up to him?
So you're looking at least 2 actions to get up to Gerard.
How many actions did you get up to Erard?
So it's 1 action to get up to Gerard, and it's 2 actions to get to Erard.
Oh, it's 2 actions to get up to Gerard.
1 action to get to Gerard,
Okay.
2 actions to get to his brother.
Alright, so then... Fuck it. She'll take an action, she'll move up to him. And,
Which one?
Gerard, the close one.
Okay.
She's gonna come up and she's gonna go, hello, boys. And then she's gonna power attack.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta roll for
I have
that,
a
don't I?
question.
Yeah, you do have to roll. Yes.
Once I dispel, or once I stop casting Pillar of Water, does the water vanish, or does it spill like normal water?
a little bit of column A and B. What it remains spills, but it relatively conserves.
Okay.
That's a 36 to hit.
Critically hits
On G or E?
on G.
We determined last time that's 6 dice, right?
So you have a striking weapon, right?
Yep.
So that means you get 2d12 for striking.
And power attack.
Power attack gives you 3d12.
Yep.
And then when you critically hit, it's double the dice. So that's what puts you at
I
6.
can't hold all these dice. That's a lie. I can hold all these dice. That is 61 points of damage.
Jesus Christ. You really don't like Taldanes.
61?
Yep.
You cut down across and you see this line as he just barely gets out of the way of the death stroke of your strike. But there's now a line of red slashing through a chunk of his armor. You again!
Always.
So now it is Erard and Gerard's turn.
Uh-oh.
Will they get separate turns, or do they go at the same time?
Well, they both rolled higher than y'all, and because y'all
Oh, so it
earned a
doesn't
stealth
fucking
round, see, normally they would have gone at the start of the round, but they wouldn't have gotten any actions until something happened with Dago and Kazlin, and they basically just put them at the end of all proverbial rounds or at the start of every round now.
Haha.
So, but it is Erard's turn. Brother, take care of your mess as I take care of the world's. Damn it, you blasted gnome! So he moves up here,
Oh, fucker.
flips another tinder twig now onto the one spot in front of him, and then decks Taffy.
Wait, what did you? Never mind.
Did a bitch just hit my gnome?
He has used his manly right hook on
Did
Taffy.
a bitch just punch my gnome?
A Taldane did just
A
punch
bitch
your
just
gnome.
punched my gnome.
So, Taffy, your AC is 19?
Yes.
Oh, he just crit.
That's a natural 20.
Alright. If I get punched to death, I'm gonna be real pissed off. Of all the fucking ways for Taffy to go.
So, well, here's the fun part. So it's only going to be 2d4 plus 12.
Good.
Plus 12?
Double the damage, right? Because it is a right hook. But you are knocked prone from it, as the critical card only knocked you prone
Wow, lucky.
That's
for that
fine.
on your damage.
Because Taffy, you can cast from prone, right?
Yes, I can.
But Taffy needs to give me a fortitude save, because his manly right hook, well, it might just stun you if you fail.
That was cocked.
Jesus. 21?
Fails. You are now stunned 1.
What does stunned do?
Takes away an action.
That is drained. Stunned, I believe, is...
Slowed takes an action.
Thank you.
What does haste do?
Haste gives you an
extra stride or
additional...
strike.
Makes you quickened.
Oh, stride or strike, not cast.
Correct.
You become senseless. You can't act while stunned. Stunned usually includes a value which indicates how many total actions you lose. Oh, yeah. Okay, stunned 1, so you lose 1 action. After your next turn, you're no longer stunned 1. So at the end of your next... You know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's
And
fine, because Pillar of Water is only 2 actions, right?
3.
3 actions?
I think
And so his hook...
The way this is written, it says reduce the number you gain by your stun value, then reduce your stun value by the number of actions you lost. For example, if you are stunned 4, you would lose all 3 actions of your turn on your turn, reducing you to stunned 1. On your next turn, you would lose 1 more action. So it's just stun 1 is 1 action, stun 2 is 2 actions, stun 3 is 3 actions, stun 4 is 4 actions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's only loses.
So
1
she
action.
loses 1 action
Right,
next turn.
but I
But
can't
Pillar of
do
Water is
Pillar
3
of Water.
actions.
I'm just saying she doesn't lose her turn. She loses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one action out of
That's
it.
fine. That's fine.
So, now Taffy, you take 17 points of damage from the hook itself. And now the tinder twig is lit.
So he took an action to move up.
Moved up,
He punched her,
punched her.
and then he lit a tinder twig.
Yep.
Took it out and lit it.
Yes.
But it's not
because he had the
falling.
box out.
Free action to drop.
Oh, fuck. Okay. But where he's at, if he's dropping it on his square...
It's not going to explode immediately. It's going to run
Correct.
towards the...
So, to represent that, as it gets dropped, it begins going a total of 10 feet, as it's now Gerard's turn. He's going to move, and Gerard no longer has his fancy whip. because his fancy whip happens to be on Damos's hip, 30 feet away around a corner. But he takes out an older whip, and he is going to go at this with fisticuffs, and man, it's just really weird considering he basically punches things and hits things with a whip. He's going to go with his left hook on Steno, and then if that doesn't go poorly, he might go ahead and show her the end of a lash. Steno's AC.
24.
So he is able to hit with his hook,
Okay.
hitting you for 10 points of damage.
Okay.
Give me a fortitude save.
Yes! Come to me! Button.
You, I don't know about you right now. 30?
30 is a success.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're able to keep from getting winded as you do everything you can as you see the punch coming in. You know you can't dodge the punch, but you can try to like slide your plates in between so you can like break his knuckles on your armor.
My little sister hits harder than you do.
I'll show you. And he comes around with the whiplash and misses.
What will you show me exactly?
The back end of my fist.
The fact
Again,
that he's a pathetic wannabe Dom.
my little sister hits harder than you. And she's 10.
Caslin.
All right. So, seeing that this distraction obviously was a giant failure, running away and thinking that this was going to go differently, do I have line of sight to either of them?
So it is
No.
similar kind of jungle that's there. So you don't have direct line, but you can
Wait.
move.
Caslin
towards
ran
it.
fully into the jungle.
Well,
Yes.
I wanted to get them to come after me, but instead the whole thing just went sideways. So, can I use an action to get into a place where I have line of sight for Erard?
For Erard,
Yeah.
the best way to get line of sight to Erard is to move back up to the front of the temple, and you could get to right next to Dago, so anywhere around here within 3 actions. You basically yelled and went up north, so you're way up here. So you move an action to get back, then you have either another action to engage with Gerard, and if you want to get to Erard, you would need another action.
Okay. In that case, let me get line of sight for Gerard.
Okay. So you're at a range, and so you have direct line of sight on Erard and an action remaining.
Okay.
You want Dago to do anything?
Well, is Dago still next to him?
Yep. Dago hasn't moved yet.
Okay. I want to.
Granted, now Dago, Erard walked by Dago, and so now Dago is next to Gerard.
So I use one action for him to get 2 actions, right?
Yep.
That's how that works. Okay. I will use just a talon attack with a jaws attack. So that's 14 or 24.
24 misses.
In that case, I am going to not do that anymore, and then do a quick draw.
Well, he still got one. He still has one of his actions. So you've had him strike. Did you want him to move away?
No,
What
I
do you-
want him to stay there.
Okay.
And then quick draw the long bow, and shoot at Gerard.
Gerard or
Gerard's the
Aaron?
only one I can see. So.
Oh.
That is a 31.
31 hits.
Oh, 3 damage. Awesome. But since Dago is there, he is in. It's a strike that damages the creature that my bird threatens.
Yep.
So 1d4 persistent bleed.
Ooh,
and
nice.
And dazzled. So,
And he's dazzled?
and he's dazzled. 3
Very nice.
until it removes the bleed damage. So he's gonna stay dazzled probably.
And this is Gerard, right?
Yeah.
What does dazzled do, Chris?
So dazzled is really fun in that all creatures and objects are concealed from you. So which means he has a 50% mischance.
Okay.
Using
That's
that
there.
more often. That's really handy.
So dazzled is very fun. So as your bow launches an arrow, hits him right there in the leg, and then Dago takes the opportunity to whip his tail around, and there's just this cut across his forehead, and there's just blood getting into his eyes, and he's trying to he's shaking his head back and forth, cursing that stupid winged rat, you scaly abomination. And he is, as he can't see very well, with all of the blood in his eyes. And so that was total 6 points of damage with the persistent bleed. And so after Caslin, What would you like to do, Taffy?
So she's gonna spit a mouthful of blood out because she just got cocked in the face on his boots.
Oddly, the color matches.
And then she's gonna cast Paralyze and say, if I'm going down and this temple falls, you're coming with me. He needs to roll a will save.
That's a stat to attack these brothers on. Standard fail.
He is paralyzed for 1 round.
Hell yeah.
And then she's gonna call out, little help, guys!
Demos.
Okay. It's because I don't want to get close because I have learned from last time. Let's.
You don't have any blessed water spells of Gosher that can help?
Move in and help Taffy?
No, but I have spiritual weapon.
That'll work.
So we're going to do that.
So, Demos, you are...
You still standing in the inspired
Yeah,
warning?
you're around the corner.
I need to get closer first.
Alright, so it'll take you at least 1 action.
And then spiritual weapon is 2.
So your first action brings you around the corner, and you are right behind Steno. You see Kazlin to your left, a little way to the north, probably about 10-15 feet away from Gerard with his bow raised, and just looks like there's this arrow coming right out of Gerard's side. Dago's tail has a little bit of blood, as he just did this really cool little whippy spin thing with his tail. And you see an open door into the temple, and you see a man who is strikingly similar to Gerard, except with a goatee instead of the handlebar mustache, in a brown suit of leather armor. He looks like they have a similar set of matching boots. It looks very similar to the make and model of your boots.
Oh,
Wait.
who thought?
Blood is the same color. My blood is the same color as their brown ass boots.
It's russet colored.
Yeah, russet brown.
So, yeah, I'm gonna...
So you have 2 actions.
I'm not going to get close because this thing has a range of 120 feet. So
Yep.
I'm going to stay all the hell back and do spiritual weapon, which summons Trident.
And who are you summoning it on? Gerard or Erard?
Who hasn't had any damage? yet?
Gerard.
Erard has not taken any damage.
But can
Him.
he see Erard from where he's at?
Well, I can move it around between them, so it's not really a big deal, but I'll summon it on him first.
So,
Okay, but if you can see him to cast it, then you may be able to see the fact that the line of fire is going.
no, that is out of his line of sight. I know that much.
Oh. So I'm the only one that knows that I'm about to die. Potentially. Depends on how fast that stuff
And
moves.
that's a
And we're all
1d8
alone.
strike. It's 18,
30.
so 30 to hit him.
30 hits!
Doesn't crit, I'm assuming.
Does not crit.
And then it's going to be 1d8 plus 4.
Deals damage equal to 1d8 plus spellcasting ability modifier.
So it's 1d8 plus 4, because your charisma's plus 4.
13.
So your trident goes in and begins, basically stabs him in the butt.
Well, it deals force damage, but...
Yeah, got in the butt by a divine trident. Steno, I guess an occult trident.
Hi. So, does his 50% mischance account towards his attack of opportunity as well?
Mm-hmm. Everyone is concealed to him.
Fuck it. She's going to move into the temple. Can she take 1 action to get up to where the thing is lit?
Steno's movement is 25 or 20.
25.
You are just short of it in 1 action. You can take 2 actions to get on it or ahead of it.
Is it going to be another action to step on it to put it out?
Yup.
Fuck it. That's what she'll do.
Alright, how far ahead do you want to get?
What do you mean?
Do you want to use your full action to get ahead and then stamp it out? Do you want to get right up to it and then stamp it
I'll
out?
use the full action to get ahead and stamp it out.
Because it's hard for him to, I would imagine, throw that far. And he's paralyzed for a round, so that'll give us time to stamp out more of it.
So, Stano goes in, stamps that out. Stano, give me a quick perception check.
I'm going to say that's the same. That is a 26.
So you look and see, you follow the line of the black powder. It looks like just a few feet away from you, it splits off into 3, and you follow the lines, and you see one of the kegs is 5 feet from you to your left. Another of the kegs is 5 feet from you to your right, and you spot the other keg 15 feet away. It looks like if this is gone, if you hadn't stopped it from here, because it's going to burn as it comes up to you still. But where this spot is here, it looks like it was only 20 seconds away from just blowing up this entire section.
Mhm.
And now it is Erard's turn. And
He's
he
paralyzed.
Paralyzed and can't do shit.
So,
Because if I had succeeded, he'd be stunned one. But because he failed, he's paralyzed for a round.
well, so he gets his 3 actions, but he can only use Recall Knowledge and Seek. Actually, he can't actually even fully Seek. But he can use Recall Knowledge as he being
He can
paralyzed.
recall knowledge on who the fuck he's looking at that's standing over there.
With Erard being paralyzed and not able to move, that means it is now Gerard's turn as the line of black powder between Steno and where Steno did their
And he's
cut.
still dazzled till he gets rid of that persistent bleed.
Yes.
Status effects. They're a bitch.
So Gerard calls out to his brother, "Damn it, brother! Why haven't you been able to take and do this yourself?" As you see him move over to the opposite side of his brother while pulling out a blunderbuss. They had an extra blunderbuss. It's not as good as the other one. It's like a shoddy trainer blunderbuss. But it takes him all of his actions to disengage from Deimos, walk to the other side, and Steno, you hear another set of footsteps as someone with blood streaming down his face has just finished pulling out his blunderbuss.
Absolutely not.
Caslin, your quarry has retreated through the door. What would you like to do?
Are they still within my line of sight?
Erard is. Gerard would have cover to you now.
I will take an action to move Dago up to Erard.
And do you want to have Dago do anything else? Do you want him support?
He'll support, but I also want him to try to attack with the jaws. 21.
21 is a miss.
All right, and then I will set Erard as my hunted prey, and then use hunted shot. That's not a hit. 19.
19 misses.
Second.
22 is also a miss.
Okay.
Taffy. So you see that Steno went and did this kick motion, and the powder between you and her is beginning to fizzle along its path, though its path is now broken.
And there are kegs of black powder, right?
3 kegs of black powder.
I extend a hand out, and from 120 feet away, because I can do up to 120 feet away.
Okay.
Less than that, actually, because I counted the squares. She's going to cast Pillar of Water.
Okay.
How wide is Pillar of Water?
15 feet. So I'm going to try and catch the far 2.
So the radius of Pillar of Water is how much?
15 feet.
So if you put it centered right in front of Steno, you will catch all 3 kegs. Because a 15-foot radius would be a size
Oh.
6
so
squares in diameter.
Then
Soak the powder too, so
Oh, in that case, yeah. Then I'll do that. And that'll be my turn.
you can hold that.
Yep. And I'm going to flip off the brothers as I'm doing it. Because it was either they're going down with her in the temple explosion, or she was going to douse it. So,
And how long does that last for?
up to 10 rounds.
Do you have to sustain it?
Yes.
Okay, so remember when you sustain, that requires 1 action.
Yep, I know.
So Taffy, even seeing the fire go up, begins cascading water down. That also happens to encompass Steno.
Yeah.
she's fine.
But if she can swim out of it. No problem.
So Steno, it's deluge. Just whoosh.
Actually, it would be, so because you're on the ground, you can actually just walk out of it on your next turn, but it is half your movement speed because it's,
That's fine.
challenging terrain or rough
That's-
terrain.
It's like one
I don't
square.
mind.
Anyway, so.
Demos,
Yeah.
what would you like to do?
My turn again?
It is your turn.
Damn, that was fast.
One spell takes
I
3
know he
actions.
moved away from my weapon.
He did. Well, no. Gerard moved away from you.
Okay.
Erard is still where he's standing
Yeah, he
because he
can-
was
he can
paralyzed.
move.
He can-
Let's
Oh
take
no,
a-
is that going to ruin the black powder that Steno's actually personally carrying on herself?
Not if it's
Uh,
sealed.
So the what y'all have presently is not exposed and set to light. It would take a little bit more than a single round of being exposed to water. But if you keep in here for like a minute, maybe.
So,
So we just need to have Taffy keep that up, and then we can just wail on him and kill them. Okay.
so Deimos is going to use that weapon a few times on this sucker.
All right.
And
Make your first strike.
it's a roll to hit. right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
A roll to hit and you use your spell attack.
Right. 18 to hit. I don't know
No,
that hits.
18 won't hit.
Correct. 18 is a miss. You have
Well,
2 actions left.
take one more time.
I'm assuming spiritual weapon takes the multiple attack penalty.
Yep.
So,
That was a 23 to hit.
Still would have missed.
Minus
so it basically knocks it out. Does 19 hit?
19 is a miss.
God damn. Okay.
His hips go side to side as the trident keeps trying to stab.
in the ass.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to hit him with the
Well,
third attempt, because I can only get as high as 24.
So you have 1 action left.
Let's use.
Wait, 24 would still
In,
miss.
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is 24 is as high as I can get, so I have to get pretty darn close to that for it to work. Let's use Inspire Courage for everybody.
So that is going to capture Kazlin and Taffy. Steno is about 45, almost 60 feet away from Damos presently.
Damn, girl.
And now, Steno, you are in water.
She like very dramatically walk out of this water.
So you take 1 action, and you can move up to Gerard, and it's about halfway through your action that you just come out, your sword washed clean after having
Her hair is just
just all drenched.
Just like the shoulder toss that you see in with wet hair.
Well, I imagine the force of the water is strong enough to pull the tie out of her hair, so there's
Probably.
that.
And so now it's all kind of pulled down. The bun's now loose. It's going off to the side, and it's that
Does
wet
that,
hair
like,
whip.
Curl that bun, like hair that's been tightly bunned for a while does.
Everybody sees this happen in slow motion.
Yep.
So you can. Do you want to
Careless
get right
Whisper
up
starts
to
playing for some
Gerard,
reason.
or do you want to be certain bit away with your 1 action? What do you want to
Nah, she'll get it right up to Gerard, so that's 1 action, right?
do? Yep.
Cool. And then she gonna power attack him.
All right.
Actually, no.
Okay.
She's not gonna power attack him. She is gonna reach her hand out towards Taffy, and she's going to say, absolutely not. You will not be hitting my friends. And she's going to cast Forbidding Ward on Taffy and Erhard.
And Erhard?
Well,
Yes.
she has to cast it on an ally and then the enemy that would potentially be hitting the ally.
Ah, I see.
So for 1 minute, Taffy has a +1 status bonus to armor class and saving throws against the target enemy's attacks, spells, and any other effects.
Nice.
Alrighty.
But
Okay.
yeah, Deimos and Kaz will probably see her cast the spell, so.
They see you cast a spell.
Yeah.
So you come out, and so you say it, and so there's a minor glow effect through the air as some unusual words are said by your compatriot.
That's her whole thing.
Very, very similar to like kind of how you see Taffy do some mind affecting styled magic. But it is now Erhard and Gerard's turn. So the paralyzed is now off, and he is going to take an action to pull out his blunderbuss, and he's going to point it right at Steno. I never did like your house. And he pulls the trigger on the blunderbuss.